The human heart, I expect you to be taking a lot of notes on this.
I am so happy to be learning about something so intriguing. I cannot wait for all my hard work to pay off so I can apply what I've learned to complete my goal of becoming a heart surgeon in the US. It's time to take my final exam as the MCAT, and I hope I really do well because I want all my hard work to pay off, all right?
The MCAT results are in, and Mr. Yuzhuo Xiao, you got a perfect score.
I really can't believe it's been almost 10 years since I came from China. Without the Chinese culture behind me teaching me to work hard, I don't think I would have made it, honestly. And I will never forget the hard work and the struggles I've endured just to come to where I've been. And to my knowledge thus far, China just enforced like a great mentality in me, and it's honestly like the best culture on the planet in my opinion. And I would not have made it without the struggle, and it really just developed my character.
Oh, dude, I don't feel so good. I think I'm having a heart attack. Oh, I'm gonna have a heart attack.
Dude, are you good? Oh, I'm gonna call 911. They're gonna take you over to Dr. Yuzhuo Xiao. He's the best I know for heart stuff.
A few moments later.
Oh my goodness, this patient needs immediately heart surgery. One. He doesn't have a pulse. We need to operate. Wait, what does that say? After Chinese? Chink? Why does he have a Nazi sign? And that's his Confederacy. This patient is racist. I don't know if I should perform surgery on this patient. After all, his tattoos indicate like hate towards the Chinese race, and being Chinese is like a key part of me, and it developed me into like a great heart surgeon. So I don't know if I should perform surgery on this man. Is that good?
One.
All right. Actually, I don't know if I should perform surgery on a man that hates like my race. His tattoos seem really derogatory, so I'm gonna leave him my Mushu 6 feet under.
Alright, so our reenactment of our real life situation that we chose could be viewed through two sort of like lenses or theories. So, or ethical theories, and so we could look at this through either the rights-based theory or ethical egoism.
So the right-based theory, which is explained by Locke, just basically states that every human being has like a right to certain and unalienable rights. So this analogy or this real-life situation does not apply because Dr. Yuzhuo Xiao did not perform surgery on the dying patient, and it can be argued that every human being has a right to live. This demonstrates the area of knowledge of reasoning because in Dr. Yuzhuo Xiao's mind, his reason was that because it was derogatory to his race, he would not perform surgery, which does not fulfill the right-based theory. However, if Dr. Yuzhuo Xiao were to perform a surgery on the dying patient, it would fulfill this right-based theory because despite his emotions, despite his preconceived concepts, he still acknowledged that the patient still had a right to live despite his moral standings.
Another theory that this real life situation that we reenacted could be viewed through is ethical egoism, which is the ethical position saying that all people should act basically on their own self-interest and what they want to do, sort of like a selfish ethical position. And in our situation, Dr. Yuzhuo Xiao, his self-interest was that he kept Chinese culture near and dear to his heart, and the patient did have derogatory tattoos towards the Chinese culture. So he acted in his own self-interest and doing what's best for him, because since those tattoos offended him, he chose to act in his own self-interest and do what was best in his mind instead of doing the right thing, which was performing surgery on his on the patient.
Alright, cut.
Our realized situation could also be analyzed through two ways of knowing, such as emotion and
Reason and logic.
yeah, reason and logic. So basically, emotion. The tattoos instilled the emotion of anger in Dr. Yuzo Shao, which caused him to view himself as performing heart surgery and benefiting the racist patient as unethical. So that's why he personally, since the emotion of anger overtook him, that's why he did not want to perform the surgery on the patient.
And going hand in hand with that, the way of knowing of reason and logic applies here definitely, because in Dr. Yuzo Xiao's mind, he was perfectly logical in not performing surgery on a person who essentially is prescribed as hating on his culture. So in his mind, he is applying like deductive reasoning to deduce that he's not worthy of his saving. And some TOK concepts we can apply to this are judgment and power. So in Dr. Yuzo Xiao's case, he has both in his hands. He has both the judgment over this man's life and the power over this man's life. He could have made two choices, whether to save this life or to just let him go. And that plays into the balance of his power. And the judgment part just comes into where he actually decides to do this thing, and essentially he decided to leave him to die. And in that case, it just showed his judgment on this man's life.
Yeah, and we also we came to consensus that Dr. Yuzo Shao's actions were unethical because the difference in opinions between two people should not result in the judgment of someone's life or death.
Hence why it should not be viewed in the self-egotism lens.